Don't get too familiar with where you are. Don't be stagnant. What we're talking about today's lesson is familiarity and the dangers of it. Now, in my reading today, which is where most of these lessons come from, because I'm learning them myself, what happened to me today, I was feeling super lazy and I did not accomplish a single thing that I really truly set out to do, that my dad has told me to do, that is necessary for my dream and where I want to go. I didn't do anything. Sat around all day, being lazy, just letting myself get away with everything. But here's what it talks about. It says, familiarity causes them to be bored with God. And then it also says, you actually see and appreciate that thing less than you once did. Goes on to talk about how at Christmas, think of last Christmas. It's pretty recent, for at least the times that we're in today. How excited were you to get that gift? How long were you looking forward to that? Well, what about now? Do you even know where it is? Do you know what's happened to it? Have you used it in the past week, past month? For me, I know probably half of the gifts that I got I don't use. In fact, one's sitting right there in a box, just chilling there. Now, granted, that's because I got 2 of them, but still, I could use it for other things, and I don't. It's the same thing with the Lord. The Lord gives us blessings and miracles and wonders all the time. But if we're just not willing to address them, not willing to look at them, and you're just like, man, I can't believe this is happening. Man, this is cool. Instead of these new Christians who are experiencing these blessings and wonders and miracles for the first time, and they think it's incredible, and it's all this and it's all that, and they won't shut up about it. But why aren't we living like that all the time? Why aren't we enjoying these miracles that we have all the time? Do you realize you breathing right now is a miracle? Your heart beating right now is a miracle within itself. Any second now, that could just stop and you're done. But again and again and again, your body keeps doing what it was designed to do over and over and over and over and over again. So how do we get out of this familiarity? How do we notice these things that the Lord is doing? Well, here's how. It says here, an example of service. It says in John 13:15, I gave you an example that you also should do as I did to you. It goes on to talk about the story of Jesus washing the disciples' feet and how Peter was a natural born leader. He established the role pretty quickly. You think of all the stories like Peter did this, Peter walked on water. Like, how incredible is that? But it also talks about how Jesus is teaching us how to do the Lord's bidding, how to see these miracles being brought out. But it also says it takes humility to allow God to work through you in His way and power in order to serve others. But as Jesus said to His disciples, if anyone wants to be first, he shall be last of all and servant of all. Mark 9:35. The only way you will develop a servant spirit is to put God first, others second, and yourself last. Do as He's molded and serve in the manner He commands. Now, that story is actually really good and really interesting. But it's more interesting of how Peter's responses, again, speaking of Peter, just how fast he switches up, how quickly he goes from no, you won't do this, to, oh, Lord, do this for me. Here's what it says. So he got up from the meal, speaking of Jesus, and took off his outer clothes. He wrapped a towel around his waist. After that, he poured water into a large bowl. Then he began to wash his disciples' feet. He dried them with the towel that was wrapped around him. He came to Simon Peter. "Lord," Peter said, "are you going to wash my feet?" Jesus replied, "You don't realize now what I'm doing, but you later will understand." "No," said Peter, "you will never wash my feet." Jesus answered, "Unless I wash you, you can't share life with me." "Lord," Peter said, "not just wash my feet, wash my hands and my head too." Jesus answered, "A person who has a bath needs to wash only his feet. The rest of his body is clean, and you are clean, but not all of you are." Jesus knew who was going to hand him over to his enemies. That's why he said not everyone was clean. When Jesus finished washing their feet, he put on his clothes, then he returned to his place. "Do you understand what I have done for you?" he asked them. "You call me teacher and Lord. You're right, that is what I am. I, your Lord and teacher, have washed your feet. You also should wash one another's feet. I've given you an example. You should do as I have done for you. What I'm about to tell you is true. A servant is not more important than his master, and a messenger is not more important than the one who sends him. Now you will be blessed with these things, so you will be blessed if you do them." Peter goes in literally verse 6 to verse 8 to completely different responses. He goes from, "No, absolutely, you will never do this," to, "Lord, yes, do this, not just my feet, but my entire body." Why? Because Peter understands there's a deeper meaning of what Jesus is doing. Now again, being a foot washer was the lowest of the low position that a servant could possibly have. And Jesus, again, as he says, the Lord, the teacher, the Messiah, the one who is sent, does this for them. And even for the person he knows is gonna betray him, he does it anyways. Now, here's what I think is the best verse. Again, John 13:15, just as the book said, "I have given you an example. You should do as I have done for you." Let's put that in today's context. What has the Lord done for you? What has the Lord done for you? For me personally, he's saved my life. He's comforted me. He's helped me. He's worked with me. He's never given up on me. He keeps pushing me. He keeps driving me. He keeps on going every single step with me. And he does that over and over and over again. Why this is so important is because it says, "I have given you an example. You should do as I have done for you." What he's done for us when he's comforted us, loved us, helped us, all these things, that's what he's done. Therefore, that's what we should do for others. Do you know how many people are hurting? Do you know how many people are around you who cannot stand the life they live? Can't stand themselves? If you go to a public school, walk down that hallway, I guarantee you every single person is battling with something you have no idea about and can't see a single thing wrong. But again, back to the basic, back to my point. How do we escape this familiarity? By doing as he has done for us. And how that works is by putting yourself in that position of humility, putting yourself last, and letting the Lord work through you in his power and his wisdom. You're going to be put in some uncomfortable situations. You're going to be put with people you do not want to help. You're going to be put with the one person that you cannot stand. The person who did you wrong, the person who hurt you, the person who's just weird, the person who's just a bully. That's the people that need you the most. I heard this quote one time and it says, "Nothing gets the attention of a non-believer like a saint suffering successfully." What does that mean, to suffer successfully? It means to go through something hard, go through a trial, go through hurt, and not waver. and to have joy, like James says, James 1:2-4, have joy. Consider it pure joy when you go through these things. Why? Because we have a God who's already won the battle, a God who gives us strength to do anything, and a God who works out everything for our good. So escaping this familiarity, putting yourself in a position of humbleness, and letting the Lord work through you will allow you to see God not just in the ways you saw before, but in the ways you've never even could have imagined to see him work. And along with that comes freedom, comes joy, comes peace. These are things that we search for in everything, but only one can truly satisfy them. So if you're struggling with familiarity, if you feel like you're just not moving, you're in stagnant water, let me just remind you, if you fall off in a river and you think that going into the stagnant water instead of riding the rushing river down, what do you think else seeks shelter in the stagnant water? Snakes, crocodiles, and other things that want to take a bite out of you. But if you stay with the rushing river, if you keep fighting, if you keep floating along, if you keep trying to get your head above the water, eventually you'll end up in a spot where you're safe and you're with others. But it's a hard road to get in there. Think if you fall off in a rushing river, you're going to be thrashed around, you're probably going to hit stuff, it's going to be hard. But where you end up will be way better than if you just took the easy way out. So don't take the easy way out. Keep fighting, keep working, go pray, go be with God, go talk to him, and enjoy your breakthrough. This has been Jacob Schneider with Made for More Ministries. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.